Is that if you get Maverick, he just took one of my leaves.
Shenanigans, welcome back for some more Shelton Shenanigans. We are here today to do something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, at least for this channel. Normally I am here to read to you guys, but today we're doing something super special. So we are going to be making these, and let me hold it up. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you can see the details there, but it's super pretty. Also, Mother's Day is coming up, which this could be something that if you made enough of these, you could maybe cut them out and make them into a little nice 3D card for your mom or your grandma or your aunt or whoever the mother figure in your life is. And they're super pretty and it's homemade. And I'm sure that whoever received this gift would be super, super excited. So let's go ahead and begin. Why I chose this project, it was because I remember as a kid I would always get leaves and press them down and sketch around them or sketch over them on a piece of paper, and so you could just kind of see the little sketch on them, but that's not very colorful, and it is springtime right now, and I wanted to make this a little bit colorful, so I put my own little spin on it, and it doesn't require very many things in order to do it. So you're only going to need 3 things. You're going to need, obviously, leaves, which we're going to hop out to my backyard and get here in a little bit. And I'm going to walk you through some do's and don'ts in terms of which leaves to pick out. But you're going to grab a couple different kinds of leaves. You're going to need any markers you can find. So I just grabbed a couple of markers that were sitting near me. You can just grab any markers that you have in your room or in the junk drawer, just any kind of Crayola. I wouldn't really do Sharpie, maybe like Mr. Sketch. Sharpies will probably just bleed through. I'm not sure if they'll rub off as easily, but any kind of markers you can find. So you're going to need markers, leaves, and then obviously paper. If you're wanting to cut these out, you will need scissors and maybe glue, but in order just to do the regular project, you're just going to need paper, markers, and leaves. So that's a pretty easy thing to find hopefully around your house. So let's go ahead and hop outside and get some leaves. Hi friends. Okay, we are in my backyard. We are gonna go find some leaves. Okay, so quickly before you actually pick up any leaves, some important things to note. Y'all, Maverick is so excited I'm back here with him. So if I fall over in the middle of the video, you'll know it's him. Okay, so before you pick up any leaves, 1, make sure that if you are in your front yard that you have someone watching you. Don't just go wander off without telling anybody. Number 2, make sure that the leaves that you are picking out, Maverick, make sure that the leaves that you are picking out are safe to pick, because we obviously don't want anybody getting poison ivy. So in my backyard, I've got a couple of different kinds of trees. So like this tree here, let me pluck a good one. Great, love that for me. Okay, I've also got a leaf that has blown in from my neighbor's yard, so that Maverick hasn't destroyed yet. Okay, so it looks like that. So we're getting a couple of different kinds of leaves, just collecting them in our hands as we are walking. Okay, let's see here. Okay, don't know if I can reach these leaves, but we're going to find out. All right, got this leaf, and we'll grab one more. Let's see here. Okay, these are tiny leaves from a bush, so we'll grab, okay, grabbed a few of them. See, these are tiny. Okay, so once you have all of your leaves, you can head back into your house or wherever you are doing your project, and we can go on from there. So I will catch you back at the house. We have all of our leaves all picked out. I am going to try and do this big one on camera with y'all. So this should be very interesting. We are going to first make sure that if there's any like dirt or anything on your leaf, that you kind of brush that dirt off. Hopefully you didn't bring any critters inside with you. I'm also going to get a separate sheet of paper. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. A separate sheet of paper, and I'm going to use it kind of as scratch paper. So let's go ahead and adjust the camera so that y'all can hopefully see what's going on down here. Okay, perfect. So we have our scratch paper. That's the example. We have our markers, and we have our, actually I think I'm going to do this one because this is a super pretty leaf. So we have one of these leaves. So you can pick out whichever leaf you want to do first. And you're going to make sure that you are using, there's kind of like a smoother side on this leaf, it's darker. And then there's a kind of bumpier side. You can see how it's kind of raised right there. I don't know if y'all can see it in this light. But you want to use the bumpy side. So the bumpy side is which side you are going to be putting the marker on. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I picked out these 3 colors just because they were super, super pretty. You can pick out whatever colors you want. I will say that sometimes the yellows don't show up quite as much, but that's why I chose orange, because it was still super pretty. So we are going to start on our end. So I'm only doing 3 colors. If you're doing a bunch of colors, then obviously you have to section it differently. But I'm going to kind of draw a line right here and see how it kind of gets on either side. That's why we have our scrap paper. So now you're going to go through and make sure that you're really getting in the each one of the creases. Make sure that there's a lot of ink on it and that there isn't any little naked leaf parts, because we want to make sure that it all presses down. Now this part is super important that you kind of move quickly so that the ink doesn't dry out. I'm going to move to my next color, which is orange. So I'm going to do the same thing, kind of draw my line, and then make sure my orange is there. Now this one, you got to make sure you put a lot on those lighter colors, like I said, because they don't always show up as easily. And make sure that when you are coloring that you don't get your colors mixed up, because obviously then, I mean, you can mix them if you want to. It just might mess up your marker tip a little bit. So I'm trying to move as quickly as possible. If you see that your ink is drying out from your first color, you can always go back over it real quick at the end. But hopefully we don't get to that point. And then I'm going in with my last color, which is pink. And make sure you get that middle part really, really good. Now you kind of have to hold on to one of your parts of your leaf that you've already colored in order to hold it still. We are making sure we get plenty of ink on there. We may have to go back and do that blue just a little bit, just to make sure we get enough on there. So real quick, I'm going to go over my orange again, just a little bit. And go over my blue again. So, see a little part that I missed right here. Might be from my finger also. Alright, so here's the important part. Do not touch the parts that you just colored. So you need to get it in your hand and then get your piece of paper. I just have a scrap piece of paper right here that I'm going to use. And then you have to carefully lay it down. So whichever way it lays down is kind of where you're committed to. So thank goodness I didn't just press it. So now that you have it pressed down, you're going to kind of push the leaf with your hand, push it down, kind of roll a little bit. Make sure that you're not moving the leaf or then it'll smear, but pressing it down. And then when you pick it up, you got to be kind of quick, so you just whoop. And here you go. So if you want to, you can draw a little stem on it. Draw a little stem on it. And then you can cut it out and add it to your collection of little leaves that we are accumulating right here. So these are the two that I've done so far. I love how these are turning out. I'm probably going to do a couple of more and cut them out and maybe do a little collage with them. You can obviously do whatever colors you want. So hopefully you can make some super, super pretty leaf prints, because that's what these are called, are prints. Hopefully you can make some super pretty leaf prints. If you do, please feel free to send them to me. I would love to see all of y'all's art. And that's pretty much it. So it was a super short video today, but feel free to send me your beautiful creations. Send them to your art teacher. I'm sure he or she would love to see them. And if you end up using this for any kind of gift, let me know, because that would definitely fill my bucket. So that is all I have for you today. Don't forget that I love you, and go change the world.